Oh, welcome back, my friends. It's a show that never ends. Corked Stats, the fastest freaking show in MLB. Absolutely, anyway. With your homeboy, Big Johnny Stud, coming to you worldwide, Brooklyn, New York, and as always, coming out that damn chair as always. Hopefully, you had a wonderful weekend. We almost wrapped up really nice, but as always, it was finger in the coolie time when the Brewers lost that game. Oh, man, I know they were up 1-0 the whole game, and they kind of let it get tied late. Then, of course, they give up multiple runs and fucking extras. But, yo, get one in, bases loaded, no out, home team, feeling pretty good. Darcy Bose, right? 3 out of 4. It's always the last leg, and that's why parlaying is stupid. All right, who am I? The girl named Sugar. Follow me up on Twitter at John Legaza Flow. Sharper than a damn razor. Same handle over on Substackistan. I'm the newly appointed viceroy over there. Remember, it's not madness, baby.
This is Sparta!
Baseball's version 300. Give the book nothing. Take from that bitch everything. All right, enough of that shit. Me shaking my fat hoo-haws trying to get you to sign up to the stuff. Support good people doing good work because, you know, it's the right thing to do, bro. Best part of waking up. Pitching sheets in the mug. We've got 13 games today, and they're all at night. That's awesome, man. This is a dream slate. A little bit less work than normal, and it's all at nighttime. Get to digest. That's some fantasy stuff. Fool around with the kiddies for a little bit today. Definitely looking forward to a good day. But this work ain't going to do itself. I'm getting a phone call, which is highly unusual. Nobody calls my phone. First up, it's Sean Berkey and the Pale Hose. They're plus 113 dogs on the road in Bmore to face Shane Baz and the Orioles, minus 136 for the Blackbirds in orange vests at the crib. Man, it feels like a little bit of a misprice on its face for just looking at the pitching. You know, Burke's been pretty damn good, right? 2 seasons ago, he was excellent, and we're seeing a bit of that again. You're getting K's with good command. The cold stuff is over, getting ahead, inducing chases. He's been up in the zone a bit, but, you know, he is good with that four-seam. You get tons of pop-ups for the, you know, fly balls. I mean, he's been pretty damn good, like all season, right? Splits are strong, even better on the road. Last 30 looking good. Sean Burke kind of checking out on the spreadsheet. Other side, Shane Baz, not so much. Who I like preseason, you know, I thought maybe coming back from the injury he'd be really good. The velo is there, but the rest is not. You know, he's not getting the breaking stuff over at all. He's pitching fucking batting practice here. 92 zone contact. Very difficult to get away with that. And, you know, lots of hard hit line drives. It's going to sting you. So even if the BABIP is high, 308, sometimes, right, we say you make your own luck. He hasn't been great at home. He has not been great last 30. Off to the offenses we go. Got to give the hat tip to the White Sox. The last 2 weeks for us. Righties as well. A lot more red than blue. Orioles batting 213. Last 325 PAs. You know, bottom 3 K rate. Bottom 5 ex-Woba. Orioles in a bit of a lull. And, you know, I like that offense. They're very talented. And White Sox have been hot last 7. I was just trying to look for a maybe reason for the pricing here. By the way, I forgot to mention the sun emoji. Oh, Mr. Sun. Mr. Golden Sun to be hot in Baltimore today. But I don't. That doesn't help Baz at all. I think I got the White Sox to win. Maybe the Orioles have a bullpen edge. I'll kind of concede that. I want to check the F5 price. If it's, I mean, you're only giving up 3 cents for the F5. Like, why not? Let's look to jump on Shane Baz. Give me the Pale Hose. Plus 110 on the F5 on the show sheet. And let's move that bitch on. Next up, my boy Braxton Ashcraft on the bump for the Buccos. Pirates minus 110 both ways on the road in Broad Street. Interstate rivalry, right? Oh, intrastate. Look at me. Boo. Got to get that vocabulary right if you're going to try and show it off. Definitely surprised to see Ashcraft. Oh, nice was my plumber. Fantastic, that call. Surprised to see Ashcraft even at even money with Nola. I mean, Ashcraft's been a fucking revelation this year, right? He's been like one of the correct picks in fantasy. superstar stud, reason we should be thinking about those Pirate futures I keep mentioning. Swing and miss, elite control, ahead, elite chase rate, elite elevation. He's turning into a lab pitcher, right? If you could make him in a lab, this is exactly what you do. And the BABIP's been a little bit high. Then you get Nola. Listen, it's hit and miss. For me, it's always been that stupid fucking knuckle curve. He hangs it sometimes, it gets destroyed. Otherwise, the underpinning stuff is pretty good. Left on base high, BABIP high, should regress down. But the misses get punished because he, doesn't have great stuff anymore. Right, 92 velo, 24 use when he misses with the four-seamer. He's not beating anybody with that thing. He's been particularly beaten up by lefties. Pittsburgh's got a bunch of those. He's been bad at home. A little bit better last 30, but not as good as Ashcraft. Offenses feels like the last one. The underdog, I think, has the edge here, though. Phillies are finally starting to hit. We got to take a gold star for calling that, right? Getting up off the mat. Oh, yes. I think one of the stronger points of my meta-analysis is always picking up on those trend changes, right? I think that's what the moving averages thing is all about. Quick shout out to the comments. Just want to make sure I wasn't screaming at nobody. No block, my guy. Good to see you. And Trent, Jam, what it go on? USMC, salute you, my man. Rose Bay. Jeff L, of course. Sam and the Nose. All my people, Carolina Diddy, up in the thing. Yo, BE, what would we be without you, my friend? Appreciate all you guys. So I think I've got Pittsburgh to win this one outright also. I mean, again, Phillies have hit, but I feel more confident getting to Nola than I do to Ashcraft, especially for not paying a tax. Pittsburgh's bullpen has also been good. And Philly has the emoji, though it's not terrible. Remember, these are just to give you an idea of how I had to push the model and to just give you a good reference point, nuance, and context. Pouring at your nose, I literally think we have everything you could possibly fucking want. As fast as anybody, you got everything you need to know, all the critical info. I don't really know who else is doing this kind of granular bullpen report. Duran 2 of 3, Kirkland 3 of 4. You might not see either one of those guys. Maybe Duran, maybe not Kirkland. Carolina does not trust the Pittsburgh bullpen. You know what I have to say to that? You're fucking smart. You know what I mean? Like, first one. Ding! So it makes sense. You're correct. You shouldn't trust any of these bullpens. I actually was thinking in my own head that Braxton Ashcraft was going to carry an F5 tax. He is. It's minus 140. So to me, that's really the difference. That 30 cents. He can go deep. So I'm gonna give that bullpen point some consideration, but it's not like they've been bad. They are pitching good. And again, I think Ashcraft is good, and they're rested. He could go deep. So I think we get the Pittsburgh win here at the minus 110. Next up, Casey Mize on the bump for the Tigres. They're leaving Detroit Rock City 8 Mile, heading down to the Boogie Down Bronx, face Ryan Weathers and the bad guys. Minus 150 at the crib. Ryan Weathers should not be a minus 150 favorite to Casey Mize. Let's go to the videotape. Mize has been, amazing. I think we've got some runs allowed lately, if I'm not mistaken. And I think, did he just face the Yankees, didn't he? Let me just get a quick look. I think he literally just faced him. I think I watched that shit. And he was super sharp. He gave up 4 through 5 2/3. Was on the way out the door. 1 walk, 6 Ks, 412 BABIP, though. So I tend to like Mize. He's been great. I love the disciplinary stuff. Elite, right? 25-6. K to walk. Weather's not bad also, but I feel like when you watch Weathers, I don't know why it makes me a lot more nervous. It's probably the first strike. He's always behind, and you feel like he's always battling. I feel like that stunted his distance because Weathers also has a bad habit. I'm skating back and forth for you. I always kind of show up the tools if you have to be watching the show and looking at the video, how while I'm making my arguments, you can kind of go through the sheets and either validate or invalidate what you're trying to do. I think that's where they're really helpful. So Weathers always battling from behind, right? And this stuff plus in the four-seamer, not great. So when he has to get that strike and force feed, what ends up happening? 43 hard hit, 12 barrel, and that's where those home runs have come from. I mean, he's been a little bit better at home, and Mize has been a little bit worse on the road. I mean, Mize is kind of trending down, I guess. Detroit versus lefties has been okay, a little bit better than I thought, right? They have the power-hitting lefties, but they've hit lefties lately for power, and that's what you're looking for against Weathers. not striking out and not chasing is definitely going to help as well. Yankees v. righties last 2 weeks is pretty much a shit show. I think we're finally feeling the aftershock of losing Aaron Judge, right? As the sample widens, 230 PAs for the bad guys versus righties. I mean, batting 221 with a sub 290 OBP, 26K, 15 swing and strike. I mean, my shit shoved today. So as I go through it, maybe I'm actually thinking about an under. Tigers' pen has been good. Yankees' pen has been good. Tigers, especially since getting back Jensen, that's been a real boost for them. I'm not sure what the current. I want to check the current price, and I'm having a fucking issue. I need a tissue. I mean, under 7.5 is plus 100, so maybe there's a palatable 8. That's kind of what I was looking for. That's why I was filibustering. Minus 123, yeah. So I think I like. I think Detroit could win plus 125. I also like the plus 130 F5, that in and out, but lately I've been having kind of rough luck with those, or maybe it's just the under. The F5 is U4, and like I said, the full game is 8. So I think I like those two plays. I like Detroit F5 because it's plus 130, and then I like Detroit and New York to go under the 8, but you're going to have to go up to, minus 123 or minus 125 for that one. I don't like to go north of the minus 130. Next up, Shorman I on the bump for the Let's Go Mets go on the road north of the border to face Trey, the Macho Man, yes, Savage Cream, rising to the top, minus 130 for the Bluebirds. I won't bury the lead. I'm way under here. I am way, 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 way under. I want to just double check to see if you scoundrels have smashed that under since we posted it. Wow, it's actually the opposite. This doesn't happen often when we're against the book as far as totals. That shit does not happen often. But I'm seeing. So I have a listed 8.5. However, right, but. That listed 8.5 is that plus fucking 100. So again, we're talking about a palatable U9 here, and oh man, give me that all fucking day. Ooh, they really gassed the shit out of it. It's minus 140. So maybe we just like to take the even money. Getting even money is always a pretty nice price on the totals. Kind of hard to beat that. I know Manaea got out of the box kind of rough, but these last few starts, he's looked really great. And I think your Savage has just been a matter of bad luck. I've under the hood with some of the X-Slug stuff. You can see Manaea last 30 days, 386 ERA, 111 whip, but all the indicators at 3.5 or below with an 18 KBB, which we love. And your Savage, I know the last 30 is not looking so great. I remember thinking the evidence under the hood for positive regression was kind of staggering. I'm going to bring it up right now just so I'm not purely talking shit. I was going to say, so I'm not talking shit when I'm in a perpetual state of shit talking. Okay, so here was the deal with our guy, Savage. I mean, I can't believe he even has the ERA and shit that he does. It's just kind of outrageous. Even at 356, 117 feels a bit wild. I guess, the walks have been misplaced, and that'll kill you. But under the hood, your Savage goes primary four-seamer, throws it a bit more than I'd like to see. It's a decent pitch. Any four-seamer that can control contact is fantastic. Very few pitchers, starters especially, can rock a 40% four-seamer. Was a sub 300 X slug. I wouldn't be surprised if that kind of leads the league. And that is pretty much as high as it goes. The split finger, 294, 40 whiff. Slider, 302 X slug, 36 whiff. This is a ridiculous arsenal, right? There is nowhere to turn. I'm surprised he's given up fucking any runs at all. It's actually making me worried that my last 30 stuff could be off, although, it's very easy to skew last 30 with earned runs. Yeah, he had those blow-ups back-to-back, New York and Baltimore, but then bounced back with 2 really great starts in a row. So I'm all about the Macho Man. Orioles have been ass versus lefties all season. You can see it last 30. Sorry, that's the wrong sheet. That was the home away sheet. Maybe I brought that up to remind myself, to remind you that one, if there's shit that's missing that you'd like added, yo, hit me up. And if it's, no, if I got it, if there's data I can pull easily and there's data that I pay for. If it's part of the set, it's yours. So don't be afraid to ask. You're not a bother. You're a priority. And home away, I just added. So there's year-to-date home away. And I'm like, yo, it was long overdue. It was long overdue. You want to know. You want to know. So again, don't be shy. And, hit me up. The door fucking swings both ways. So Toronto's been brutal last 30 versus lefties, but it's been the entire year, right? Poor control, too many chases, no power, and ground balls, just total ass. Mets offense hitting a little bit lately, but you just go to the righty stuff, so it must all be lefties. Matt's batting 202, last 320 PAs, 14 swing and strike. Like, I don't know where any runs come from. I was just shocked at the total. Blue Jays getting outs late right now. But notice I say they're getting outs and not like the bullpens pitch well. Not giving up home runs will help. But a 3% KBB, that dog don't hunt. Man, so, maybe I'm a little worried about the bullpen. I think the Mets have a decent chance to win this game. But again, I'm just like way, way, way on the under. Let me pencil it in so I don't forget. Yeah, give me the Metsies. Usually I want to pay that few cents to get to the 9. I'm going to shop it around, but I'm not going to minus 140 if I can get even money on what I think is a pretty strong cap anyway. Next up, Miles Michaelis on the bump for the Nats. I feel like the last 3 or 4 times the Nats have told us he's going to fucking pitch, he gets an opener. So I really feel like we're getting our fucking balls fucking teased right now. So just be careful with moves and maybe prop bets and stuff where you're planning on capitalizing on a matchup for Michaelis. Right, it's been Pauline in front of him and shit like that. So whatever, I'm just pumping the brakes on. And I do think we'll get to him. I do think he's terrible. Nats on the road as plus 150 dogs against Power Ranger Suarez and the Red Laundry. They're minus 180 at the crib. I don't think I could pay minus 180. Not necessarily because of Suarez, who I think is fucking awesome. We've been backing him consistently for years. But just to go up against the Nats versus lefties, I think the last 30 might be starting to weaken. And clear and unequivocally wrong. Nats versus lefties last 30 days the same way it's been all year against lefties. They've been extremely fucking tough, man. They have just gotten everybody. They just got Christopher Sanchez. Like they're hitting good lefties too. So even though I do think Boston will win this one, because I think Michaelis is ass, I want to lean over, I guess. But I'm obviously worried that Suarez is going to shove. You can't have confidence that he's going to get touched up. He's filthy. And the Boston bullpen, which had been so great on the full season, you could see that. The last 2 weeks is starting to spiral a little bit. Of course, everyone is calling for fucking Chapman's head. Listen, be careful what you wish for. He's probably going to get traded. I think they had the emoji. Boston did have the emoji. Chapman back-to-back 3 or 4. 63 pitches. He's unavailable. He's not pitching. And then Slayton back-to-back, 28. He could go 3 in a row, but I don't know. So this is one of the weirder bullpen reports. I don't usually just list 2 guys. But if it's closer, most definitely unavailable, and then next, I guess Whitlock is technically next guy. But again, it's very subjective. I just wanted you to know, to be informed. With that, if Suarez is humming, he can go 7. Fucking guy can go 8. I was really surprised that total. Let me just double check. Is it really 8.5? Sometimes I like to lead with the board, so I have that piece of information. It is, and again, this is way too many opposing kind of forces. Yeah, we think there's going to be some runs scored. You want to bet 09 in a game with fucking Ranger Suarez in the bump? I don't. To me, that's crazy. I'm not saying you can't ever go over, but can we get a fucking discount? Boston team total, by the way, is 4.5 minus 115, which I think is in play, but I got a little bit of the ick going on. Was I supposed to go one more on this fucking zooming? I don't know. Anyway, Texas Rangers, 124 dogs on the road in Cleetown, Forest City, to face my boy Parker Messick and the guards. Lots of emojis. Going to be hot down in Cleveland. And Cleveland's got the emoji as well. They're actually in trouble today. Cade Smith back-to-back. Gaddis 2 of 3. Armstrong back-to-back. Heron 2 of 3. Festa 2 of 3. When you have those limitations, this really comes back to haunt you if you end up down at all, right? Even if you're down a run or two, you have to go back end and just hope that you can close the gap. So Cleveland had a disadvantage out the box for full game. And now Quantrill's pitched well, but I went under the hood and was not buying that shit at all. Again, I think we're on a hard Quantrill fade. I'll give you something to sick your fucking teeth into. You know what I'm saying? You know how we roll, man. With your crazy ass fucking Spartans.
Spartan! What is your profession?
Quantrill under the hood. I don't know. What the fuck, man? He throws a ton of cutters and sinkers that don't get whiffs. They get hit really hard, and he's been really lucky. Again, your primary pitch to have a 566 X slug is ridiculous, and it's the fact that it's only played down to 432 is crazy. Every single pitch has 100 points of X slug or more across it, and I just think the batted ball luck is going to turn, right? These are hard hit, pulled balls. This guy sucks. And Messick, on the other hand, is like fantastic. Oh, man. This is the fucking trap. Cleveland. Fucking Cleveland. Because they don't score, and Texas is starting to hit. And you feel like if Messick gets hit at all, we're kind of out. Cleveland did return to Lauder, which is a nice touch, but you could see the last 2 weeks that Cleveland offense is just atrocious. And it's the worst kind of atrocious, right? Tons of chasing, swings and misses, tons of strikeouts. So even when they manage to string together a base runner or two, they don't fucking do anything with it. They're not a contact team anymore. Whatever happened to the guards that made contact and stole bases, those are the shitty teams we can believe in. Because that's how luck works. We put yourself in a good position. You can't put yourself in a good spot if you're constantly fucking waving and hacking. This offense is fucking shitty. And I could see, I'm trying to fucking horn my way into backing Parker Messick. He's like one of my dudes. And even the strikeout stuff is going to be tough. Rangers very disciplined against lefties. They've hit lefties in general very well. This is a tough spot for him. Cleveland bullpen's been ass. Rangers bullpen is ass. And then with that bullpen stuff, how could you not be over this 7.5? Right? How could you compare this 7.5 to the 8.5 that we were just talking about? Really, really very similar. I understand we do have a heavy favorite at home, but there's plenty of reason to worry that Cleveland right now, you have a very hard case to pitch to me. They're a minus 150 favorite, even with Messick, even with Quantrill. So it pains me to say it, but I think I'm over the 7.5, and I don't know. Maybe I should be proud of myself, not defaulting to the favorite, trying to show some personal growth. But it fucking hurts because I know I'm starting Messick on like 3,000 fantasy teams tonight, and you want him to go 7 and get the win, and I just don't have the confidence. Next up, my boy Nicky Lodolo. Oh my gosh, yo, pour one out for my guy, brother. Pour one out for my guy, fucking Lodolo, dude. Just a brutal fucking run out so far, and I gotta stop making excuses. I do. I thought the excuses I was making were fair. He had a slow start, so you miss spring. Then he had another blister issue, missed games, so you have another ramp. But man, at what point am I just glazing over a non-reality? Lodolo, 46 2/3 into the season, 5.6 ERA, 1.5 WHIP. Expected ERA north of 6. My indicator north of 5. Which is supposed to, clean up all the shit that I don't believe about expected ERA in Sierra. It's the worst, man. It's the worst. He's not getting ahead. There's no swing and miss. He hasn't offered free passes, and the command is not terrible. But the breaking stuff is not over. Now, he's been thoroughly punished every way you can from bad luck. 324 BABIP, 15 homer fly ball. Again, even 8 home runs through 46 2/3 is a lot when you have such a low fly ball rate and a pretty good hard hit rate, and a good pull rate. But we know he pitches in a tough ballpark. He's on the road today, but I don't not like the road stuff is that much better. It's a run and a half better than home, but it's just not good. I've got the hood up for Lodolo. Let's get my fucking greasy fat fucking head onto there for a second. I looked this morning and I couldn't look. I couldn't look. So I mentioned before, just a second ago, right? You can't was a Cal Quantrill. We're comparing Cal Quantrill to Nick Lodolo. Fuck, man.
Frustrating. It's frustrating. It's
Frustrating.
It's frustrating.
Oh man. So I said you can't have a primary pitch with an X lug, over 500. Lodolo's is pushing 700. His primary pitch, that sinker, which again, don't understand. He was a primary curveball guy last year. He went curve four-seamer, then equal parts sinker change. Now it's sinker curve four-seam change, and it's not working. One thing I didn't check, I'm going to do right now, is in season. Let's see if Lodolo is getting away from the sinker. And, I'm buried the lead because I already see the fucking answer. He's throwing more sinkers than ever, the most sinkers he's ever thrown. Almost 50% sinker rate last two starts for Lodolo, and they're doing the wrong thing here. Because he struggled with that change also, and those pitches were just so productive for him last year. Curveball was a 257 X slug, 40 whiff. This year it's kind of keeping up a little bit. All right, I'll give it to him a little bit. The XBA is up 100 points. But just the whiffs have just completely disappeared. And again, that stinker getting hammered, and his answer to getting the stinker hammered was to throw more of them than ever. Then on the other side, you get Gasser, who's actually been quite a bit better than that ERA whip combo, 450, 127 would suggest. Gasser's a high talent arm, and I think he might have just needed some time for seasoning. I didn't want to take forever today, but we're kind of rolling. We're hitting the flow state. We have a couple games off. Maybe we'll still get this in time. Gasser's secondary stuff is fucking really good. It's all really good. Insanely good. The sweeper's got a 230 X lug, 22 whiff, which is a really good secondary pitch. But then he goes, sub 175 plus 33 whiff on the cutter and the four-seamer. He's so good with them. He's really, really good. Is he crazy tall? Because he's a sick extension profile. These guys, he's actually tall, but he's not super tall. So it's a mechanical thing. Milwaukee's good with that stuff. They have a couple of really filthy fucking lefties on that team. So, I think I like Gasser, and it's being reflected in the price. Brewers minus 160. Sorry, I should have led with that. The Reds have really hit lefties. So have the Brewers. I don't know. I'm not paying minus 160 to face Lodolo and a hot red team. Their bullpen, the Reds, is just so bad, right? If I'm not mistaken. They've gotten some outs, but they're fucking terrible. They're one of the worst pens in the league. It's the Brewers that have been on the struggle bus. All the walks have kind of popped up to kill them. But I believe a little bit more in the arm talent, though they have the emoji. Shame on me for missing that. Miguel 2 of 3, Uribe 2 of 3, Ashby 2 of 3, and Kuhn back to back. Oh, maybe we're fucked. Maybe this is another overplay. I would love to buy low on Lodolo, but I'm not. That would purely be a vibe / Italian American based play. I don't think you could do that. And the total's even up to 9. Do I have a 9? I've got 8.5, so fuck that. I'm actually on an under. If it's at 9, so too many mixed signals, you don't have to bet very good. Next up, winged line Griffin Canning on the bump for the Padres. It's hot and the wind's blowing out in Chicago, so you know what that means. Das Boot! 11.5 total. Who gives a fuck? I'm not even bothering with this shit. It's just total fucking waste. Again, my theory is I should have kept the Faccia Bruta. My theory is always the same. Especially, I don't think Canning is good. And while I think Imaniga is good, we've already, right, you peg him for the kind of guy who's going to struggle in these specific situations because of his style of pitching, right? Everything is up, 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 up. Everything is fly ball, fly ball, fly ball. And those couple of feet, right, that extra 2 miles an hour and the extra bit of carry or whatever makes all the difference in the world. And, Monica is a gas can sometimes in these situations. Now, I say sometimes because nobody fucking knows, obviously, right? But I have always held the position that I think with an 11.5 total, you're always going to be better off trying to nail combinations of hit run ribbies, right? We hit them all the time. Pairs that go up, plus 150, plus 160, or on the prize pick sites, we could drafters.com. They don't pay me, maybe they should. Where you could pair 4 picks for 10 times your money. And now if you think about it that way, instead of betting a unit on the over where you need 12 runs, are you going to lose 10 different 4-leg, offensively based parlays? Because on drafters, you could pair 2 and 2 from each team. I just have a hard time thinking that. And then the other flip side of that is, well, if you build a couple of round robins into that, you may actually hit 3 or 4 of those, and you may completely crush the same game that you've kind of thrown the white ball. Oh, it's over. Oh, we're going over. Well, think about what has to happen to get to 12 runs. That's what I'm saying. There's so much has to happen to get to 12 runs. I don't bet these overs. I just think it's a fucking waste. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Again, when I have to put multiple emojis, I get away from it because I don't like artificially boosting the model. But I need you to know that I did that. But you also should know with all the fucking goosing, I'm still fell a little bit short because 11.5 is stupid high. And we have the favorite at home, even with all the runs being scored. We're still expecting the Cubs to be ahead and not get that last frame. You're removing 1/18th, right? It's what, 6%? 4%, let's say, rough math. Like, again, there's 1,000 ways to skin this cat, and I don't think the straight over is like how to do it. Next up, a bunch of my boys going, let's not bury the lead, just run to the window and smash the F5 under. I'm curious to see if it held at 5. It did. But it's like a hard 5. It's a juiced 5, minus 125 U5. So we're probably going to see 4.5s. A bunch of books probably have 4.5s listed. But we want the F5 U5. A couple of my boys, these are the spots that we love, where maybe people are looking more at ERA and stuff, where I think these guys are both very good. Zebby Matthews, ton of arm talent. The ERA is entirely too high for what you're getting. And again, we want the control, and it's been there in spades. I think he's been really unlucky with the home runs, and I think that's going to correct. I was under the hood for him also early in his secondary stuff was like stupid. I remember I opened it, I was like, whoa. There's some of these Arsenal combinations and, whiff and contact combos that I was like, oh shit, yeah, it's crazy. The four-seamer is good. I'd like to see it get a few more whiffs it used to. So maybe that'll come back. Because the shape is good, right? He gets a lot of arm side run. The diagnostic stuff kind of checks out. And it doesn't really force feed. We're in like the low to mid 30s. Maybe I would pull back a little bit. But again, the slider is a fantastic pitch. Curveball, fantastic pitch. They're both over 35% whiff. The slider is bordering on 40. Both with great X slugs. You can throw them to either-handed hitter. So I'm kind of looking for, right, Zebby again didn't have a regular season with spring training and starting in the rotation, these up and down shits. I know the last 30's not been great. I'm on it. If you're not buying it, then I think you bet the Astros, because I think Lambert's been good and is good. We'd like to see maybe a higher CSW and get the breaking stuff a little bit more. But he's done his thing. He's filling the zone, keeping it down. And he's also depth to lefties, and I love righties that have that particularly strong split. He's been very good at the crib. Very good last 30. And I love that fifth run. Now, yeah, we're challenging a, tough Twins offense right now. One of the tougher offenses last 2 weeks. But I think, Lambert to give up 3 and Zebby 1, or both give up 2, or even if it was 3 and 2. And most people can relate to this. when you bet an F5 under, if you have one pitcher give up 3 and one pitcher give up 2, you feel like you got blown the fuck out. To get out of that with a push, I think we're feeling good. And the Twins have hit, but are we really buying them as like an elite offense? That maybe maybe you're missing me a little bit with that. And I would just point to the last 7, right, to give you an idea of what, the beginning of a dip starts to look like, right? Losing in zone, not taking walks. They stop stealing bases, right? We know we always have our eye on that. And the Houston offense is like, okay, again, I think they're okay. It's Jordan Alvarez and Jeremy Pena, who I think are awesome, right? But after that, it's meh. And Christian Walker is a very good ball player. I don't mean to demean him, but he's that kind of guy where like when he's running hot, he's sun running, you back that fucking guy every day. And then you see it, it's very peak and valley. Bullpens couldn't be more disparate, right? So I think Houston wins this one going away. And even if it's close, I think they get away with it. Houston does have the bullpen emoji. Hader back-to-back, he probably won't pitch. King back-to-back, he might at 19 pitches. And Urquhart back-to-back, they still have a couple of arms. We liked it more with Hader. So maybe we like a Houston F5. But I'm definitely going with the under. I'm going F5, U5. I'm backing my boy Zeb Dog. Minnesota, Houston, F5, U5. I just actually saw a minus 123, which I could snack on. Next up, my boy Sandy Alcantara on the bump on the road with the sun blaring in Colorado against Sean Sullivan and the Rocks. I mean, I don't know. I know I have one interesting point I wanted to make. Well, I guess first would be, I think Sandy Alcantara is too good to only be a minus 137 favorite against Sean Sullivan, who I'm not sure belongs in the major leagues. That said, you're now doing pitch analysis and cores, which is a sure way to end up with, a clenched fist in your bum. So I'm not going to touch this one, but they really should win. I mean, Sandy is good, and Sullivan is not. Now, the offensive stuff is what I wanted to bring up. That home road split that I mentioned before. Funny enough that the Rockies, of all teams, are just, much worse at home than they are on the road, which is very funny. But it's the case. I mean, they have for average because the BABIP is high, but that's what Coors does. But the power kind of disappears. And it's just, they're just significantly worse by WRC plus, right? Compared to the field, right? That's all contextually adjusted is the phrase I was looking for. So Rockies 85 WRC plus on the road, 101. 85 at home, 101 on the road. And Minnesota, sorry, I should have just had that up. They're also significantly worse. Miami, significantly worse on the road. Has Miami even been hitting right now? They've been a little bit of a mixed bag. I feel like when the couple of really good bats are not doing it, they completely collapse. They actually moved Marcy up to the front, and he's not been great because Xavier Edwards has not been great. And I mean, and then you're relying on, listen, I like Otto Lopez and Kyle Stowers as much as the next man. But think about how much of a load you're asking for them when you're going with Conan and Paulie and Snowa and even Esteri Ruiz or Leo Jimenez. And it's like, this is not great. This offense is not in great shape. What the hell? Anyway, I'm feeling very... Hold on, I got to do it because like I had a massive senior moment. I almost had like I thought I was having an aneurysm. I almost fell out of my fucking chair. I was confused. I definitely confused games somewhere, but that's what you get for trying to do pitching analysis and core. So let me just take my fucking booze and I like so badly lost my place. I don't know where I am, and it's stupid anyway. So this is another one, over or nothing. And you know what? Maybe I can make up for that brain fart right there with the same attack plan I was just speaking about with the combinations of the prize pick stuff. When there were 2 of these games, then like So again, Drafters has a pick'em lobby that's a little bit different than Underdog or Prize Picks, which have juice, meaning, it'll say times 0.45, times 0.6, and it's like, all right, that's bullshit. Drafters, the menu is condensed, but the payout is standard. Yeah, baby. Yeah, no doubt. So every fourfold is a times 10. Every eightfold is a times 100. So like in our case, hold on, I got to do some collapsing. I'm going to just give you some real time ones. I didn't get to do the hitter bases. I'm going to do it in a little bit. Okay, so Miami and Colorado. Goodman 2 bases or a single, McCarthy 2 bases, Moniak 2 bases, Rumfield or Tovar. The Tovar is 2 hit run ribby, and the Castro for a single. Okay. Now, I'm noticing the Marlins are not up, and I wonder if, oh no, there they go. Marcy for a single, Ruiz for a single, Mac for a single, Stowers 2 hit run rib, Lopez 3 hit run rib, Xavier 3 hit run rib. And again, I know sometimes those are a little high, but when you think about the multiplier, and again, you got to get the fucking 12 runs. It's a lot to get the fucking 12 runs. So that's just one side, right? And you could do what I was saying before and get a bunch of those together. And then, what was the other one? Did I fly past it? I must have flown past it. Oh, Chicago, right? Pico Armstrong, 3 hit run ribby. Kelly, 2. Swanson, 2 hit run ribby. Shaw, 2 hit run ribby. I think he's hurt. Tatis, 2 bases. Merrill, 2 bases. Machado, 2 bases. Samad Taylor, 2 hit run ribby. If he's going to be in the 2-hole, that's a fucking smash, that fucking play. So, just saying, that's how I would rather attack these stupid games. Sorry if I really got totally confused. The chat is exploding. Thank you, everybody, for, participating. I'm just glad not all these are for me. I'd rather you, again, one of the best pieces of advice I have for new players is to bring up the live chat on YouTube and just scan through it. There's some really fucking sharp people in the comments. Like, they're bouncing. I go back and read it. I'm like, holy crap. And it informs some of my plays. You'll see them on the ticket. But there's a lot of creative plays, a lot of sharp plays via soft markets. Both teams to score and hit props. I'm seeing some really, really, really sharp stuff. So, you guys just doing the damn thing. You guys are the fucking shit, man. Next up, Trolley Dodgers on the road in Sacramento. Eric Lauer going for them against Jay Gage. Jump. Don't the pitcher make you want to jump. 105, minus 105 for the Athleticos. I mean, this pricing is purely based on the Dodgers jersey. Right? This is a jersey price. Now, the A's bullpen has been ass. So that would be my worry for the full game. But I think Jump is the significantly better pitcher in this one. Lauer has really struggled. Funny, he started bitching about how he wanted to start, and look where that's fucking wound up. I know he's produced, he's a good example of last 30 production, 282 ERA, sub 1 whip. The Sierra is north of 5. The KBB is 5.7. That's exactly where I'm looking to fucking sell the rip, right? The opposite of buying the dip where something is low, you think it's going to go up, you sell the rip. It's ripped. You want to pull it down. So Lauer's produced, but I'm not buying it, man. I'm just not buying it. I don't give a crap. Now, it was decent offenses too. He got Minnesota, although we mentioned that maybe in a little bit of a slide. He got the Rays, but he got the Rays on the road, who are one of those big split teams. Sucks. And he got Pittsburgh, who normally hits, but Pitt did get him for 2. They hit 2 home runs. I think the A's offense is good enough to get to Lauer. Let me bring it up. Oh, fuck. I have a mistake here. Sorry, I gotta read the Athletics. I wonder if maybe Lauer is not listed where I pulled my data from. All right, whatever. I'll get it. But we know Lauer is a lefty. A's versus lefties the last 30 days has been very good. When I think if you're going to attack Lauer, you'll give up a little bit of swing and miss to be aggressive and hit it, because that's how you get to him. Right? They're hitting tons of home runs, and we're in a great spot. Dodgers, by the way, not hitting lefties for shit. last 30 days. Again, whenever Ohtani and Freeman are hiccuping a little bit, Dodgers offense starts to look a little human. Again, the fact the price is this close is a testament to how sharp the fucking books and the public are. Whatever. I do plurals. Me fail English? That's impossible. Man, A's actually at minus 120 for the F5. That's why I was filibustering. Oh, man, you're going to pay juice to beat the Dodgers. Who would have thought, right? The team, when they signed Kyle Tucker, they're going to win 130 games. Womp, womp, womp. Yeah, no shit. But, man, trusting the A's bullpen to win this one? Or paying juice for a fucking win? Man, this is like, talk about a fork in the road. Man, I am fucking torn. All right, maybe I got to leave it. I thought for sure I was going to get a piece of jump and a little bit of money coming in on him and the F5 tax making me feel a little uneasy. Next up, my boy Ryan Johnson on the bump for the Angels. He's a very heavy underdog on the road in the PN Dub to face the Pickle, George Kirby, and the Mariners. I mean, I've got LA for a decimal point lead through 5. So we got to check the price on an F5 run line. I think we're going to get plus money on it, which is one we're in there like swimwear. Holy crap. Oh, okay. So a little bit of confusion. I'm going to have to shop this around a little better. So I looked at the Angels F5 run line, and the run line said minus 150 for the Angels F5 run line. It's plus 1.5. Whoa. So I'm going to look for a half run line. Look to play to a tie, though. Shit, maybe I will. I don't normally pay minus 150 for just about anything. But I think that's fucking broken. I don't think the Mariners or anybody should be giving anybody a run and a half. All right, let's dive in really quick. Thankfully, the missing 2 games today is going to buy us just enough time to do the right thing. Okay, so this is Ryan Johnson for the Angels. A couple things that we like about Ryan Johnson. One, a little bit of draft capital, right? Not technically a first-round pick, but he was the first compensatory pick. So he's right there. Last pick of the first round, I'd call him. We've seen him produce at a very high level in the minors. Okay. Guys dominated minors. Called up to majors. Gets anus prolapsed in majors. Hashtag MLB is hard. Gets demoted. Dominates again. Gets promoted. We're on high alert for a breakout. After the debut, which we know we fade, for him to get crushed. Keep in mind. Ryan Johnson. I mean, I'm bought in hard. I add him to every fucking fantasy team yesterday. You didn't have to overpay. I thought it was a total smash. We talk about this on our podcast. So again, stunk. Demoted. Pitched well in minors. Back to majors. Gives up 5 through 5. Next start, we're looking breakout. Goes 6 shutout. Walks 1. Strikes out 8. Why is nobody into Ryan Johnson? I don't know. Pop the hood. He's got fucking filth, yo. He's got filth. Leads with a cutter. Really nasty pitch. Tons of spin. Gets a lot of whiffs. Backs it up with a split finger that he uses to lefties. Money pitch. 178 X slug. 39 whiff. That's a money pitch. Star that bitch. Then he goes sweepers to outpitch the righties. Now he's missed a few times. It's gotten crushed, but he gets tons of whiffs. But between the cutter and the sweeper, he has enough to get righties. And I think those are even going to normalize. Again, he's been very unlucky on the cutter. 100 and almost 200 points of slug to X slug disparity of bad luck. So we're all about Ryan Johnson, yo. All about fucking Ryan Johnson. I think he's going to go out and shove today. Shove. Seattle's offense is a noose. They are terrible. We've been betting on him this week. Watching Seattle try and score is like trying to pass a fucking kidney stone. It's the absolute worst. This Mariners offense is fucking dog shite. Oh, I see what I did. I made the wrong LA righty lefty. So I'll correct that as soon as I get off air, right? See, Angels imported as lefty red and it's Dodgers. So, okay, I found the mistake. I'll correct it in 2 seconds when I get off. They're both right-handed. You know, I always get hung up because I have some lefty-righty confusion. Oh, who was the guy today? I like to call it my mistakes because sometimes it helps me like remember who it was. There was somebody on the board that I was like, is this fucking guy? Oh, Savage. I thought Savage was a lefty and he's not. He's a righty. As I went and just rechecked the probables, Texas looks like they might open with Winston Santoa, who I've never heard of, in front of Quantrill, who we wanted to attack, which again, I mentioned, there's been a lot of that fucking shiftiness. Anyway, let's get back into Angels and Mariners. So I'm buying back into Johnson with 2 fists. I also think Kirby is very, very good. You know, when Kirby has a high whip, it should automatically be a red flag because he doesn't walk anybody. So his BABIP is through the roof, 342, when you consider a 49 ground ball, sub 33 hard hit on Fangraphs, sub 1 homer 9. Where are the runs coming from in this one? Like, I was kind of shocked to see that. Hold on, I just want to, let me confirm. Okay. When I got this, the market must be very confused on this game. Because when I got a hold of it, that was this morning. It was 8-4, F5 full game, 8-4, whatever, respectively. I just went at MGM. These are live, right? So I'm not shit talking. I'm not using some fucking even third party site. Yeah, this is live right here. This is highly unusual. The full game moved down to 7.5. The F5 moved up to 4.5. So I guess it's still kind of the same. Because that 7.5 is even money. But the 4.5 is only minus 117, minus 118, excuse me. Man, I was going to be under the 8, but if you'll give me the 4.5, then we can avoid the Angels bullpen, which is like, you know, that's the nut hand. That's exactly what, you know, that's what we were looking for. Of course, I'll pay you 12 cents to not have to include that team. So I think we want to smash this F5U 4.5 before this closes. I think this closes 7.5, 4, like hard, hard 7.5, 4. All right, last but not least, let's get out of here. Hope everyone, was enjoying the show, support good people, doing good work. I even say it's $2 a week, but if you sign up for the year, you get the last month for free. Again, I'd say feel bad because I really try and fill every day with content. But, there's that 1 month in between football and baseball, after the Super Bowl and before baseball kicks off. But I'm writing and ranking, obviously, and then I, redo the sheets, back-tested the model and stuff to make sure it's ready for everybody. But, I think that's just a little something for me to you. And then I think it's like $1.70 a week. And, man, for all the time you're going to save, plus football's up. Uploadable, color-coded, DraftKings and Underdog ranks are up. I clean them every couple days. And as we get closer, I'll be cleaning them throughout the day. Yours update with mine. Plus, we have tons of stats. And if you're into handicapping NFL, if you model NFL, similar to MLB, no one is going to give you a viable data source with which to jump from as cheap as I am. Nobody. This literally does not exist. In particular, the football stuff. Some of the split football, the EPA and success rate shit, very difficult to get your hands on, even more difficult to split. And then if you're able to get it, you have to then scrape it and mine it and format it and shit where you just give my fat ass a few dollars. I'll have it waiting for you. You sit down at the computer and hit the ground running. So sorry to stick in another fucking ad for my own stuff, but I don't think I do a good enough job with the football. It's really good. And people tend to see it and be like, bro, what the fuck? Why don't we know? Like, what do we know about this? Yeah, the team, check it out. If you're a baseball guy and never looked at it yet, check it out. And if the money is a thing, hit me up. I'll front you a free month of data. I'll give you the link for a month. Try and use it to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? All right, last but not least, again, sorry about that, but I gotta try and do my ting tang. It's Tyler Mahle on the bump for the Gigantes. They're on the road as 113 dogs in the desert to face Eduardo Rodriguez and the Snakes with shapes in their back. I mean, Rodriguez has been getting away with fucking murder. And Mahle kind of sucks. He shoved last time out, so I'd be looking to jump on him. But the totals are at 5 and 9. I couldn't get to the, I don't know why I couldn't get to the 9. I think part of this, everyone, if you remember, right? So we were talking about environment, ballpark, and the narrative, proper narrative that, home runs and scoring are up the last month, whatever. Now, I think what's happening is, I got this one. Erroneous.
Erroneous.
Yeah.
Erroneous. Erroneous on both counts.
I think there's been a blanket adjustment so the data came out, now the data is being used as a launching point. But I think, at least in the case of Arizona, very specifically in the case of Arizona, you got the wrong spot. The roof is up and the humidor is rolling, and Arizona is like a legit bottom 5 park. I'm going to try and bring this up right now. Shout out my guy, Johnny Anderson, at JONPGH on Twitter. He's some of the madness behind the mania here. And he has just the sickest tableau and data set you've ever seen. It's like the Jedi library. You could spend your entire life, literally, analyzing this data and not even come close to using or seeing or understanding all of it. It's insane. It's clinically fucking insane. If you're into that kind of stuff, and if you do like a daily play, you can't beat it because of all the splits and stuff that it allows you to do. But he's also very good with, like Park Factor, you have to understand, is kind of formulaic and proprietary and stuff. I prefer Park data. John provides them both. I just want to see performance. Just show me performance, and I'll kind of figure it out from there. And so we were talking about Arizona, and I think it's almost like unmistakable, So total home runs, which can be a little skewed, bottom 10. But the rate stuff, right? And that's kind of what we're looking for when we're talking about parks, right? If we're saying that the park plays up, then the rates should be elevated. Home run to fly ball. Johnny has home run to barrel. He's the fucking man. It's so good. Boom for my boy. It's fucking so good. So homer to fly ball rate. Arizona, they're like tied. Let's call it bottom. They're like bottom 5. This is technically like 6, but I think it's like tied for 6. We're talking about a 0.1 of a decimal point. But the bottom line is balls in the air, not going out. How about home run to barrel? Arizona is bottom 3. They're bottom 3 in home run to barrel rate. That number is at 8%. Hold on, it's at 39%. Sorry, 8. I was looking at the barrel rate. Home run to barrel rate, 39%. Bottom 3. For reference, Philadelphia, 59. Dodgers, 57. Washington, 54. Toronto, 52. Half the park is at 50 or better, where at least half the barrels go out. In Arizona, it's a third of the barrels go out. Arizona is not the place to just run with the fucking model. So if you learn anything, whatever, if you're a fucking $100 better, that piece of information was enough to pay for the whole fucking year. So I'm worried. I don't think the pitchers are good, but they beat me to the under because I think it's mispriced. Do I have the guts to go to the under? Probably not, because I don't trust it. That said, in the future, we're going to get pitchers that we do like, and we're going to go under. Let's get the fuck out of here before the hour is up. I love all of you guys are the fucking just the absolute best. Stone cold, nut hand. Thank you for picking up what we're putting down here at Kiggity Corked Stats, where all your dreams come true. Enjoy the games, enjoy the day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. And remember, when you work this freaking hard, the winning feels a lot less like luck. Please like and subscribe, because that shit matters entirely more than it should. Have a great day, everybody.